It was an ordinary day in an extraordinary place, a courtroom that felt more like a pressure cooker than a place of justice. The air was thick with tension, lawyers shuffling papers, the judge's gavel poised to strike. Everyone held their breath, waiting for the next round of legal sparring. And then out of nowhere came the sweet innocence of a little girl's voice piercing the dense atmosphere. "I'm hungry." The way the entire room froze like a movie stuck in pause. Yeah, that's where our story begins. Meet Joanna, a 30-year-old single mother living in Detroit. Day in and day out, Joanna wore many hats. She was a waitress by day, a cleaner by night, and a superhero to her 7-year-old daughter, Emily. They lived in a modest apartment, one that had seen better days, but every corner was filled with their laughter, resilience, and an unshakable bond. But lately it had been tough. How do you stretch dollars to make ends meet when your bills are piling up like that tower of dishes in the sink? One day, while rushing to pick up medicine for Emily, who was battling a nasty cold, Joanna got a parking ticket. Of course, in the chaos of motherhood, that fine was an annoyance more than anything. It was just another hurdle between her and a good night's sleep. But then came the court notice, and everything began to spiral. As Joanna walked into the courthouse, she could feel her heart racing. Every footstep echoed with anxiety. She scanned the room, taking in the deeply furrowed brows of those seated, the intensity on the judge's face, the infamous Judge Emerson. This guy didn't mess around. Known for his strict rulings and icy demeanor, even the attorneys standing to his right seemed to have a hint of fear in their eyes. Joanna sat nervously, glancing at her daughter, who had her little head down quiet. But that wasn't her Emily. Usually she was the one bubbling with energy, ready to take on the day. But now she was just tired and well hungry. So when Joanna tried to explain her side of the story, to plead her case about how she was just an exhausted mom doing her best, Emily lifted her small hand like she was in class, and all our hearts collectively sank. "Mommy, I'm hungry," she declared, her eyes wide and innocent. It was like a switch flipped in the courtroom. The usual deadly silence broke like glass, all eyes suddenly on this little girl. Even Judge Emerson couldn't maintain his sternness. Surprise flickered across his face, followed quickly by a softening of his features. "Well, let's take a quick recess," he said, trying to conceal the smile that wanted to break free. Imagine the shockwave in that room. Most were used to seeing him as a stone-faced enforcer of the law, but here he was cracking just a bit. I mean, who wouldn't soften up at the sight of a little girl in distress? As the crowd began to murmur, Joanna was just hoping to pull Emily aside, maybe get her a snack, but nothing prepared her for what happened next. When the judge returned, he bore a plate with, believe it or not, fluffy pancakes and syrup spilling over the edges. "I hope you like pancakes," he said, extending the plate towards Emily, who could hardly believe her eyes. Laughter erupted in the courtroom like a tidal wave, and for a moment the drama and the struggles melted away like butter on those warm pancakes. After the break, the atmosphere had shifted. Joanna was finally able to speak with Judge Emerson, a little more relaxed now and ready to listen. With sincerity, she shared her story, the hardships she endured, the sacrifices she made daily just to keep their heads above water. He listened, nodding his usual rigidity, giving way to a glimmer of compassion. After considering all of this, Judge Emerson made a decision that shocked everyone. "I'm dismissing the parking fine," he said, his voice steady but warm. "In light of your circumstances, sometimes we must prioritize kindness over strict adherence to the law." That sentence, wow, it hit hard. Joanna, with teary eyes reflecting her disbelief, could hardly process it. And just as surprise settled in, the judge went a step further, offering resources for support, potential job opportunities, and even counseling services for single parents. How often do you hear about a judge reaching out like that? As Joanna walked out, she felt a sudden rush of hope. Emily, still munching on those pancakes, had turned their day around in ways Joanna never expected. The story didn't just stay within those courthouse walls, though. News outlets caught wind, and suddenly Joanna and Emily were more than just a mother and daughter. They were symbols of resilience and grace. Fast forward a few weeks, Joanna found a better job, one that let her balance her responsibilities without sacrificing family time. They moved to a nicer area, and Emily, oh Emily, she blossomed into a local hero, inspiring other kids and even some adults around her. And guess what? Judge Emerson didn't just stop caring. He reached out regularly to check on them, ensure they were doing okay. One day he showed up at Emily's birthday party with a slightly lopsided cake, grinning like a kid himself. Turns out he said, I'm not just a judge, I can be a friend too. It was a simple moment, but powerful, filled with the kind of warmth that's often missing when you're battling the world. As we reflect on this story, themes of empathy, kindness, and transformation emerge proof that sometimes a moment of vulnerability can change not just individual lives, but also hearts in unexpected places. What do you think about this? Do you believe that every system can be softened with empathy? Have you ever witnessed a moment that redefined someone's perspective? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to share this video if it resonated with you and subscribe for more stories like this, because who doesn't need a little dose of humanity every now and then?